Let's talk about the time Superman saves a little boy from an abusive father. In Mount Prospect, Illinois, we see this little kid rushing home with excitement because Superman is coming to town. The Man of Steel has been on a journey recently where he's trying to reconnect with people to make himself more grounded. He's walking across the country as opposed to flying. And even though his friends are making fun of him for it and telling him he's weird, we see this little kid working hard on his sign for Superman because Superman is going to fix everything. When the boy's father arrives, he begins to rip the sign to pieces and screams at him to get inside. Through tears, his mother tells him how sorry she is as she's using makeup to try and cover up his black eye. The kid just wants to know why his dad hates him, and in talking to his mom, he realizes that he hits her too. But he swears to his mom that it's all going to be okay because after all, Superman is coming and he'll fix everything. The kid manages to sneak outside and hang his sign back up just before Superman arrives, but as he walks back in, he sees his dad cussing his mom because she can't make a cup of coffee, and as he draws back to hit her, the little boy steps in the way, screaming at his dad, telling him that he's never hurting her again. But all that does is make him the focal point of Vincent's rage. You see him dragging his son across the floor, telling him that he's going to teach him some manners. He then opens up the basement door and throws his son down the steps before locking him inside. About that time, outside, the Man of Steel is walking by the house, being greeted by all of the boy's neighbors and seeing what he thinks is just another sign celebrating him coming to town. In desperation, the kid screams for a hero, for somebody to save him. He screams for Superman. And hearing this plea for help, Superman uses his X-ray vision and then shows up to save the day. While the Man of Tomorrow is checking on the little boy, the kid sees a bruise on Superman's face from his most recent battle and asks him if his dad beats him too. But the kid's father furiously shows up at the top of the steps, telling Superman that he has no right. Marching up the stairs towards the father, Superman has to do one of the hardest things he's ever done, because if he touched him, he would rip him in half. Instead, we see them down at the police station where they're filing reports. CPS has been contacted and the father is being charged. While Clark says that's great, what happens next? What happens when he gets out? The cop says that they usually suggest a restraining order, and most of the time that works, and if it doesn't, well, they really don't have any control over that. And Superman tells her, well, maybe not, but I do. He bends down to hand William a special phone number, a number that he tells him to call every single day. He doesn't have to say anything important. He just calls, leaves a message, tell him how he's doing, how he's feeling and everything. But if there's a single day that he doesn't call, that he doesn't hear from William, as he looks at the father, he says that there will be consequences. Now, the cop says that it's such a good thing that Superman came along, that without him, that no one would have ever got to the bottom of this. And Superman says no, that that's not true. It didn't need him. All it really needed was somebody with two eyes, a voice, a phone, and 10 cents worth of compassion.